Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm actually going to start the walk with no shoes on because I don't want to get my shoes wet. And taking them off and on is kind of too much work for me. I'm a bit lazy like that, so I'm just going to keep them off. This is the beginning of the walk. I love it when you bring other people on these walks. You can actually see perspective. You can see how steep that is.
So that's where we're going. He's up there rambling to himself.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The first time I did this track, I didn't bring any water. I was so dehydrated at the end of this. And this is over 1,000 meter high mountain, and that was so brutal. But this time I did bring some water, 1.5 liters of that good hydrating stuff. Honestly, when I got up to the hut, because they do provide water there, I was drinking water like a dry sponge. And it was a hot day, unlike today. Today is cloud cover. Well, it was, but I think the sun's burning through that a little bit. It is so important to stay hydrated. Wow, that's nice stuff. Every day, I think you burn about 1,800 calories, give or take. You use about 3 times the amount of calories you do when you're walking up mountains like this. Now you might be able to hear that sound. Those are cicadas. You probably find them in a lot of places in the world, but in case you don't know, they're little insects that are really loud in the summer. I don't know why they do it, I don't really care. One actually landed on my face this morning. Well, temporarily for a second. But they are so loud. They can probably big mosquitoes. They look kind of like dragonflies. Oh, these bugs are going to give us like malaria or something. Gee, they're everywhere. There we go. This forest is similar to what they would have filmed the Lord of the Rings scenes in, where they had those battles in those big forests, because these are goblin forests, and they kind of consist of all this mossy kind of stuff. You can have a look at that. Yeah, so Lord of the Rings wasn't filmed in this forest specifically, but it was filmed in a forest just like this one. Here are called beech trees. Mountain bikers call it the nightmare. And it is the mountain biker's nightmare, because these beech leaves, when they're wet, are just slime. It's so nice and warm up here. That ridge that's closest to us is the one that we had to climb up. I don't think I ever want to climb up that way again. Fun fact, down this slope down here, there is a massive landslip. You can't see it from here, but you can see it from those mountains over there. It's actually huge though. Field hut is over there. I think I can see it almost. That gives you reception throughout pretty much the entire mountain range, like everywhere around here. We could be playing Roblox and Snapchatting right now. We've got so much internet. It's so funny, they warn about flooding. In case it floods, you know, you gotta move this out of here so it doesn't get damaged by water. Got 3 or 4 bars. We're probably being radiated right now.
You recording that?
Yeah. Okay. I got a little bit before it went in the cloud. That's a fast plane. This represents the tallest bit of the mountain right here.
Welcome to the top.
Welcome to the tippy top.
Oh my god, he's really up.
King Kong, I feel like King Kong up here. Yeah. There's cloud moving right over the summit here of Kapakapanui. There go the clouds moving over the mountain. Seems to be kind of clearing away from where we're going. The reason there's so many beheaded trees here was way before I was born, there was a massive storm that took off the tops of all these trees here, and they just never grew back. And of course nobody came to remove them, so it just kind of looks like a big tree graveyard. Huge storm. Absolutely gigantic. Imagine how scary that was if you had been up here that day, or the couple days that there was that storm, and these trees were just snapping left and right around you. It's hard to imagine, actually, because it probably hasn't happened to many of us. There we go, somewhere in there. There's a hut. Gonna be there. Here we are. Kapakapanui hut. No one home. It's a really small hut, 6 people. Looks like 5 because there's a mat missing. And there's a tent. Which is smart, I suppose. Here's the intentions book. So this book has kind of got, here, you just got pages upon pages of just data of people saying where they've come from, where they're going, their names, the date they were here. If you can reach this, you're cool. Yeah, easy. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, we're cool, guys. First time I came up here, didn't bring any water. So when I actually finally got up to the hut here, there used to be a tap right here that would just drop straight down onto the ground. In that little spot there. I just turned that sucker on and I just let the water fall on my face. Honestly. I had a pretty old knife. The tip's broken off, so it's kind of useless. But it might be able to cut stuff still. I don't know. Not something I want to keep. Doc puts up these triangles here as trail markers. You'll be seeing them everywhere along this trail. So you would have been you would have walked across the roots of that tree, but it fell over. And that triangle there is kind of pointing in the wrong direction. Dang, the trail is blocked. I guess we're just gonna have to turn back and summit the mountain again. Oh, we can continue, never mind.
I wonder how that happened.
I'm so short-sighted. There's an upside down give way sign on the tree. And we're like 1,000 meters up in the mountains.
We are actually like, what was it, 1,600 or something like that?
1,100. You can hear a goat bleating out. Somewhere in that valley, I don't know where. But it's quite loud. Goats can do that. I'm expecting that. Well, I took a piss, right? William ran on ahead. But we're going to go back to earlier this morning when I went on ahead. I hid behind some trees. William walked past, and then I started following him for about 100 meters before he finally stopped and noticed my shoes, and it gave him a fright. So fast forward back to now. William has run on ahead, and I'm expecting that he's going to be somewhere in the bush. There's another story that I was told about a park ranger and his buddy, like 40 years ago. They were going on a tramp with a guide. Now this guide, you need to know, he was a bit of a, has to be the best. Had to get up to the top of a mountain first, had to complete something first. So when the guide showed up to help this young ranger, back in the day he wasn't a ranger, and his friend cross the northern crossing, which is something north that way, it's another trail. He didn't even show up with any food, because he expected that these two 17, 18-year-olds were supposed to provide his food for him. Now, one of the boys, which wasn't the ranger, he kind of got pissed off at this, so he bolted up the track. Now, because of this guide's ego, he started chasing up after him. Later on in the day, when the two boys and the ranger actually got up to the top of the summit, the guide was standing there, but you might have noticed how I said the two boys. Well, that's because the boy who darted off actually hid behind a tree somewhere, heard the guide run past, and pretty much just hopped back out, went back, went back with the soon-to-be ranger, and they just did the walk at their own pace. Meanwhile, that guide had been sprinting his ass off up the mountain, trying to find him, trying to beat him to the top. And he was pretty disappointed when he got to the top and he saw nobody there. And about an hour later, his two counterparts showed up. I just thought it was a pretty interesting story, so that kind of relates to this situation right now. He either said he was going to go on a break, or he's going to show up behind me somewhere. Made it. Back to the river. Woo-wee. Finally.
I f***ed up my leg. I jumped from that rock to that rock and it really hurts. After the walk, we deserve this. Good? Yeah!
So this stream comes down from the side of the mountain. You always have to cross a river in New Zealand to actually go hiking anywhere. Whether it's on a bridge or not on a bridge.
It's 7 now and we're like here at like 11, so it took
8 hours. I'm going for the shoes off approach again. Got a little stone here, there's a little story behind it. Crossing the last river, I'd already made it across, right? Last stone, a little bit slippery, my right foot slipped away, my left knee came down, smashed a bunch of rocks. Now there was like a domino effect, okay? The dominoes kind of hit some other rocks, and then this little chip of rock flew off a rock, and that just kind of landed in front of me, so I picked it up and was like, cool. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. It was quite nice. What's the word? I don't remember the word. When you kind of return to something that you've done in the past. If you're still here, consider subscribing, because this seems to be something that you enjoy. And if it isn't, you would have left by now. Have a good day.